you have to look at the entire chain and make sure that you're very competitive on the production every single step of the way. So you start with production of natural gas, you move on to transportation of natural gas, then you get to liquefaction, then you get to transportation on water and deliver to the regas facility. And there's economies to do it every step of the way, and you have to make sure that you do that completely and comprehensively. I think the fact that there were some very big discrepancies in pricing around the world a few years ago is now disappeared. The world is basically starting to pay pretty much the same price everywhere. It's correlated, and therefore the commodity is becoming a true commodity, in which case you have to be the low-cost provider on a global basis. And this is what we've focused on for the last 2 years at Tellurian, and that's what we're trying to achieve. I think, I mean, the simple answer is money, because it's very expensive projects to move forward. I think the first thing that has become apparent in the last few years is that there is no shortage of gas on a global basis. There's a lot of places that have found very large reserves of natural gas, and therefore the gas is available. The trick now is that you have to deliver the gas to market, and the easy stuff has been done, so meaning going in close distances and delivering the gas to the close neighborhood, that's finished. So now everything is far. So the choices are either you build a pipeline over a long distance, that's expensive, or you build a liquefaction facility and you have a liquefaction train, and that's expensive. So you have to do everything right, and you also have to undertake projects that have a very large magnitude, and this is the direction in which the global gas market is going. The tremendous advantage that the US has today is twofold. The first one is that the gas is very cheap, and we've had a revolution in the last 10 years. And it's amazing because it's only been 10 years. But we now have extremely cheap gas in the United States, which we never expected. The second thing is that we're able to build liquefaction very competitively. So I think the first thing to happen now is for the existing projects, the roughly 65 million tons that is under construction, to finish construction, and that will take 2 to 3 years, and that will be on the market. And to the extent that the market allows, which I think it will, because there is a tremendous demand for natural gas on a global basis that continues to grow, and the United States is in a privileged position to do this. We just have to see which projects that are currently being contemplated get to the finish line and start construction over the next couple of years. So the first step is to finish what we already started. The second step is to start new projects that would come in the next generation of LNG. I think clearly the demand growth is there, especially at low prices on a global basis. So the challenge is to keep the price of gas affordable to continue to support the growth in demand. That is not necessarily easy. These projects take 5 to 7 years to conceptualize and build, and they are very expensive. So you have to plan them correctly, and you have to continue to anticipate. And the major issue today is that there's a breakdown in the business model that you need to adopt in order to continue to build the infrastructure. The first generation was based on indexation to oil prices, because most of the projects were substitution from oil products to gas product. The second generation was adapted to the United States particularly because we have a very large resource base. We have a lot of natural gas. The infrastructure is already in place. So you could take a tolling fee and change the way the world worked, eliminate the destination clauses, and give more freedom to the market and allow the market to operate in a more disintegrated way. And that worked well for a period of time. But now with the liquidity created in the market, in the very large spot market, that business model is more challenged. So we have to find a new way to meet the requirements of both producers of natural gas and consumers of natural gas, so that we can find a way to build this infrastructure going forward. So let's start with Gastech in general. I think on a regular basis, it's good to see everybody in the same place, get a feeling for how the trends are moving, what is changing, how the world is evolving, because we live in a very dynamic industry. And if you go back to your office and you stay there and you have a tendency to think that you now understand how the world is going, but you don't get to check it with industry partners and industry colleagues and even competitors, and to recalibrate how you feel about your industry in general and the place in the world of your industry. So having the ability to come to Gastech on a regular basis and see how everybody's feeling and read the mood of everybody and feel the mood of everybody is very valuable, and it helps us recalibrate where we think we are in the process. Then the VIP program is even better because it gives us an ability to also having some detailed conversations with people who are making decisions on a global basis. And it's not easy if you're living in the United States and trying to work there, to figure out what is going on in China or what is going on in Japan or what is going on in Russia. And having conversations about how we all see the world from different places. So on a regular basis, having the ability to have these conversations and these dialogues is extremely helpful in order to make your mind in terms of where you want to take your company.